Good morning and welcome to another beautiful day. It is Friday, TGIF edition of Outnumbered, beginning with the newspaper review for this morning. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and of course we have a lady that has been outnumbered today. Sadatu Mohammed is right here.
Good morning,
Sadatu.
I am outnumbered, but I came fully prepared.
With the ammunition.
Exactly. I want to be dropping it like it's hot. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Sadatu. Good to have you in that number today.
Let's just watch out for what's going to be dropping right here. She says she came prepared.
Yes.
I think it's a good day. The day is bright. No too much shot today, but then you can't say it all because it is the season. If you're going out, you can still carry something alongside in case it showers. All right. And Nigerian Tribune is the first paper for today. Local government autonomy, that's the kicker. Teachers' salary better paid by states. NUT is the one saying that. Details read on page 8. Ohaneze Ndigbo President Iwanyanwu dies at 82. Tinubu orders month. Details read on page 8. INEC will take over responsibility of conduct of local government election if backed by law. This is coming from Yakubu. Details read on page 3. And that takes me to the big story. Planned protest. That's the kicker. DHQ, that is Defense Headquarters, DSS warned against anarchy. Identify sponsors. Some riders to that story. It's an invitation to anarchy, reign of terror. DHQ, funding lines identified. DSS says a plan afoot to hijack protests cause chaos. Traditional rulers meet with Tinubu, plead for peace, patience. Oyo, Lagos government holds security stakeholders meeting. I participated in peaceful protests for democracy. That is coming from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You know, some presidents. We are saying, well, you're trying to stop this protest, but you protested sometimes back. And he's saying, I protested and it was a peaceful protest. And he said he protested for democracy. And now we have democracy. Of course, you can get the details on page 2 on the Nigerian Tribune. And moving away from there, Nigeria record fastest economic growth in 6 years in first quarter 2024. That's coming from Edun. This one has just 3 riders. It says Tinubu's reform yielding results. A federal government's main focus is to reduce food prices. Government pays 7.3 trillion naira waste and means debt. I take that again. Government pays 7.3 million naira weights and means debt. And of course, 2 more story and I will be done. Court to hear Edo government suits challenging Shaibul's reinstatement September 24th. Details read on page 12. 6 workers die as building under construction collapses in Lagos. Details read on page 26. We've heard about building collapse. The last one was in Jos, then Abuja. Now it is Lagos. What are the authorities doing about building collapse? There is nowhere a building collapses and lives are not being lost.
Absolutely.
For how long? For how long?
The one that happened in just where schools collapsed.
Yeah.
And little children were grounded on the floor.
Little children were grounded.
When building, particularly engineers, if buildings are being built on a shaky foundation, that building should be demolished.
I think
the problem
is right. If all those people that want to build house, like landowner, they want to build house, they don't care about engineer. Maybe once your cousin, your brother is into building, you automatically give him the contract.
They just call it messing.
Yes,
just call
anyhow person that just build this house for me because
they don't even do soil test.
Exactly.
They don't even do proper foundation. They don't even know how deep the foundation should be. The casting is not properly done. Then you see some people after building one house, maybe they just wanted a story building. Before you know it, they said there is a space. Let's add more.
Let's add more.
That's Lagos. That happens.
That happens in Lagos a lot. Yeah.
All right.
That's why we have collapses.
We just pray that the authorities do something about it. That's going to be the size of the headlines from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Over to you, Michael, for the next paper.
Thank you, Ramsey. We'll move straight to the Punch newspaper today. President in Governor's Month as Ohaneze leader Iwanyanwu dies age 82. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Details on page 17. Probe, that is the kicker of the story above the header. National Assembly summons NNPC Dangote over 10 billion naira or $10 billion oil theft, not naira. Sorry. Details read page 33. Away from that, Tinubu may sign 70,000 minimum wage bill next week. That's a good news because I was particularly asking a copper yesterday about receiving 70,000, and she said the new coppers that are coming are the ones that will enjoy it.
Everything is just ×2.
Oh, okay.
The 70K, the 77K is just like 33K, because once you want to go and buy something in the market, it's ×2. Anything you want to go and buy
it's
in
just
the
like
market
a
is
compensation.
×2. Yes.
Well, I will just pray that the minimum wage has been signed
next
and
week,
been approved next week,
yeah.
like it's been said.
Away from that, factional kingmakers oppose fresh Alafi selection process. Police station rape, NGOs condemn piece of investigation. Details on page 5. And the big story, Tinubu rallies NSA, monarchs as hunger protest looms. Details on page 2. We have 2 writers to the story. President meet APC governors Oni Sultan clerics as planned protest gains momentum. Opposition change. Tinubu to address Nigerian Army DSS alleged plot to force regime to change. I'll take that again. Opposition changes. Tinubu to address Nigerian Army DSS alleged plot to force regime change. DSS are coming out to say that the plots of the protesters is actually for those who do not like the present government. They are the opposition party.
Well, in every government, you get to hear things like that,
absolutely.
because they feel there is always opposition. But then it's not all the time, because some things, they are realities, okay? Looking at everyone at the face right now, staring at everyone, reality staring at everyone. So everyone is actually hard hit with the hunger in the land.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason people you don't even expect are warming up for this protest. And it's so good that this administration is actually giving a listening ear, calling stakeholders, traditional chiefs, rulers, governors, senators, House of Rep members having to give up their salary, 50% of their salary and all of that. It's a welcome development, but then the hunger is still there.
Still long.
All right, still there. Do well to pick a copy of the Punch newspaper today and enjoy an interesting story. Back to you, Sidatu.
Thank you so much. Let's take a look at Daily Trust newspaper. Muslim group wants, I take that again. Muslim group wants film using hijab in armed robbery scene banned. I'll take that again. Muslim groups want film using hijab in armed robbery scene banned. Detail reached on page 29 of Daily Trust. And then the next headline says, security operatives kill many bandits in Niger. Detail read on page 6. And also the big story says, I engage in protest but without violence, says President Tinubu. And then the writers to that headline says, federal government and governors intensify effort to stop August 1st demonstration. And also, President meets monarchs and religion leaders. DSS warn against monarchy. And then another headline says, grandfather appeals for rescue of family member kidnapped in Kaduna. Detail reach on page 20 of Daily Trust. Gunmen kill 5 inside mosque in Nasarawa State. Wow, this is new. Detail read on page 20.
Why is it new?
Gunmen kill 5 inside mosque.
It's been happening, even in churches. It's been happening. It's not new. It's been happening. We've heard severally where people get into the church and kill people, even in mosque. That's to tell you that this terrorism,
we've also heard
terrorism has no respect for religion.
This
as it is right
protest
now.
Also heard from Zamfara and Katsina. Some states have already started protesting, targeted at religious groups, Muslims, clerics telling them, "These Christians, is about time for you to
wake up."
I mean, come on.
Okay, let's move on. Dangote NNPC reef. Nigeria petrol import from Malta jumps 43 times to $2.8 billion. Detail reach on page 24.
That's an increment. Yesterday we heard that about 900 okay, refinery is about to be closed.
Closed as Tinubu
In Europe, as
Dangote
Dangote refinery is coming out.
coming
Then
out.
we're hearing you can see why this fight is on.
Exactly.
You can see why this fight is on. Well, Dangote, I just want to say, don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't
Right?
give up.
You're
Why
fighting a good
complaining
cause,
already?
and
Don't give
Nigerians
up.
are behind you. Don't give up.
They are with
Okay.
you.
No matter what happens, the sabotage, the cabals, they will really fight, but then the victory is going to be ours.
I think that's all. That's the
That's
size
just
of
it, because-
Daily Trust newspaper.
No, thank you very much, Sadatu. No
Okay.
matter what you do, no matter the frustration, at the end of the day, it's going to contribute. We know Dangote is making money.
Yes.
We are quite aware of that. But then, be making the money and let the life of the people be bettered a little bit. Okay, because this is what the federal government couldn't do in years. All right, let's get to the Daily Times newspaper and see what we have. Nigeria's economy on path of recovery. Tinubu is the one saying that as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And two writers to that story says we will do more to meet the needs of citizens. Second writer says I have no cabal or sponsors to compensate. And that's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. That is the president. Tinubu said, I have no cabal, I have no sponsors to compensate. Meaning, there is no godfather here. Nobody brought me up, and I'm going to do what I am supposed to do without anyone saying, hey, come on, do this and do that. All right. Nobody sponsored me, and I have no cabal. All right. That's good. That's good to know. Then mostly coming from the Daily Times newspaper this morning, Nigeria needs its diaspora expertise in nation building. It is read on page 4. Troops neutralize 106 terrorists, arrest 164 others in 1 week. Details read on page 10. I saw this story and there was a way I felt. Yesterday we talked about the prosecution
yeah.
okay, resuming okay, the prosecution or maybe okay, of terrorists. Then this morning we're hearing that just in 1 week, all right, troops neutralized 106 terrorists and arrest as much as 164 others in 1 week.
Awesome.
One question that I keep asking is, why not name and shame these terrorists? We've seen cases whereby armed robbers have been arrested and the police bring them forth and they ask them questions. For how long have you been doing this? Okay, you are a pickpocketer. You are one chance. How did you get into this? Why not interrogate these people openly so that Nigerians can see and know who these people are? Ask them questions. Who are their sponsors? Who invited them? How did they get into this? We hear of arrest and we hear of neutralizing terrorists and their activities, but we don't get to see these people being named and shamed on national television so that people can see who are behind this banditry and terrorism in this country. I think it's high time everything be done in open, especially now that we've heard that some persons are actually financing this terrorism, and it has gotten to the throat of Nigerians right now. Remember, kidnapping, you know, it's choking. Apart from the hunger, you see kidnapping, you see payment of ransom and all of that when you don't have anything. You were just talking about someone that the brother was kidnapped and they had to pay like 20 million in Enugu State. This is so uncalled for. Well, this is going to be the size of the headlines from the Daily Times newspaper this morning. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about something very big, and that's going to be the big story today, which has to do with the fact that Defense Headquarters and SS have won against Anarchy, and they said they have identified the sponsors. Who are the sponsors? Do you care to know who they are? We'll tell you more when we return.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
August 1st is very pregnant. So many things are in the air. We don't even know what's going to happen yet. Even me, the Nigerian that I am, I don't know. But then a lot of people are clamoring for this protest. What is this protest all about? Welcome back from that break. It is still Outnumbered live on your screen. And we said on return, we're going to talk about the fact that Defense Headquarters, DSS, won against Anarchy. And the president came up today to say, well, I did a protest, but something you need to know about the protest that I did and participated in is the fact that it was peaceful. Is this protest going to be peaceful? Talking about the one coming up August 1st. But then, one amazing thing is the fact that DSS is coming up to say, well, we know who the sponsors of this protest are. Who are the sponsors of this protest? Have they been interrogated? Is it for a good cause? Or have they been arrested? You can't just arrest them. If the reason or the motive behind the protest is genuine, then you don't get them arrested. If the protest is peaceful, then if you say you've known the people who are ready to cause anarchy, to cause some problem, trouble, hijack this protest, why not arrest them before time instead of just sounding warnings, Michael?
Telling us that the service has also identified, among other things, the sponsors, the sponsored line, where the finances are coming from, the cohort. And then we know that Defense Intelligence has said that these perpetrators are targeting worship centers, markets, and critical asset centers in the city. That is their target. And the Department of State Services is saying that we've identified the infiltrators, that they are actually unscrupulous elements who want to use this avenue to clamor for change of regime. Is it regime? That's APC regime. That's what I mean. You know why it's funny to me? Because
sorry, I'm not trying to cut you short, but one thing people don't know is that this regime is not even doing badly.
For me, a false regime, and he's just getting started.
And taking over a regime is not that easy. So if you want to say, well, as it is right now, the protest is in a quest, all right, to take over from this regime. I don't think, but if you know anyone that wants to do that, why not? Just bring the person up, and sound a note of warning. I think it's good that the Defense Headquarters is sounding this note of warning. Yes, Michael, continue.
So the spokesperson of Director of Public Relations, the person of Dr. Peter Afonaya from the DSS, Department of State Services, is saying that while peaceful protest is a democratic right, fundamental human right of every citizenry, but then the infiltrators, the people that want to actually perpetrate this crime, are people that are anti-APC. They do not like the government. They want to have a change of regime, but then the people, the cohorts, the unscrupulous elements they want to use for this protest is targeted. They are targeting worship center, mosque, churches, asset places that have goods and commodities, especially to pack food. You know, the people are hungry. They're saying what we envisage is chaos. That's what they're saying. It's like mayhem is what we envisage, because intelligence has gone around to see what is happening. Remember, in some states already, that already, like I mentioned initially, that some people in some states are already saying these worship centers we are going to visit, and that is what DSS is saying. Worship centers. Why the Islamic society say, these Christians we are going to deal with them, and Christians are saying we are ready for you guys at a time of peaceful protest.
So
is that what it should be? So
is this supposed to be a religious?
It's supposed to be a religious war.
Protest for hardship, economic hardship.
So they are saying the sinister plans to unleash untold mayhem in a society is what we are against. Remember, if this protest goes as planned, so we're going to have no movement, we're going to have destruction of lives and properties, and then the president
if it's not peaceful, right?
And the president made it visible that he is among those that are engaged in protests without violence, talking about the military era. That's what he spoke about. He said, I was among those that protested in the military era. And
I was protesting for democracy. And it was peaceful.
It was peaceful. And I say we've had 25 years of peaceful democracy. So why do you want to unleash mayhem? We might have something that is more disastrous than NSAS protest. Because the way it is seen right now, just like this hungry elements have been infused with some financial motivations, and they're already preparing. If the DSS tells you that we've seen them, we've had intelligence going ahead, that remember some localities that do not have that presence of security will be really, really affected.
I think one of the important thing now is the fact that since they've already known the people behind this and spotted some areas, I think what they should do, that I feel is part of their responsibility, is to beef up security in such areas. And they should use their own intelligence and other apparatus involved to pick these people, okay, before the protest, so they don't hijack this good cause. I call it a good cause because
like
in every
element,
in every regime, I think the people have the right to protest, but the protest should be peaceful. Then let me get to Sadatu now. I think one of the areas we've heard oftentimes, in fact, severally, that the people who are actually behind this protest, okay, because they are not looking at the whole Nigerians now. They are saying, in quotes, the people behind this protest are actually people who want to fight this regime. You know, the opposition thing must play out. What do you think? Do you feel this protest is about fighting Tinubu, or it is all about the reality on ground?
For me, it's all about the reality on ground. And since the president has come out to tell us that he has once protested in a peaceful way, then I think he can just give measures to the agency, law enforcement agency, on how they can go about it. You know, since you had the experience of coming out to protest peacefully, you must have one or two techniques or strategies that you people have put in place back then to make that protest be a peaceful one. So I think things like that, he can just bring them out, give
instructions,
give instruction that, okay, this is how it should be, this is how it should be, and this is how the security agent should go about the whole thing. So instead of panicking about people that are trying to hijack, I think they can just reinforce themselves, double and level up their security guard. That's just
okay. What you're trying to say is the government can, in a way, give the protesters a guideline.
No, not guideline. The president doesn't have to give the protester. I mean the agency, the security agency, like the DSS and other people. You know, if they want to protest now, definitely there will be a security.
Yeah, security presence, sure.
So they should
there'll be road safety.
He should give them a proper orientation. Like just probably call a indoor meeting and give them a proper orientation on how they could go about it.
Do you have
DSS has released their number and their email where you can send a message if you know people that are clamoring like rancor to actually state. If Nigerians want to state their grievances peacefully, it's a different thing. But this unscrupulous element that have been hired, like they've been paid to unleash mayhem in the society.
Exactly.
Also citing that the protest is politically motivated. I don't know what they mean by that.
This is economically motivated.
But then Nigerians.
I think I like that.
Nigerians
it's economically motivated.
They've spoken to religious organizations, youth organizations, parent, ward, churches, imam, the pastors, to speak to their respective people. Anywhere you are in any grassroots, talk to them, because we know Nigerians, they will take laws into their hands, sir.
But what about people who are sponsored, to disrupt this protest by coming up, to do something criminal?
That's why they have
since
to
security agencies have seen these financiers, go and hold him responsible, arrest him.
Simple. I think that's the bottom line.
Impunity and immunity to be arrested.
So you are making mouth, just go and arrest them.
Okay, I think all right. If I can understand very well, what you both are saying right now is, right now you said this protest, there are some people that have been paid already, to cause mayhem. All right, to disrupt this peaceful protest, to make it violent, as the case may be, to paint the real intention of this protest. So people like that, if they have been known, they can't be arrested. Let them just be arrested. Let them just be brought to book. Let them face the wrath of the law even before they carry out this activity. I think that will help.
Cripple them before the action.
So that can even make the protest peaceful. If you know anyone who is planning, because I remember what happened during NSAS. People came out with their good mind, good intentions. Then some other persons were paid by people in quotes to go and cause mayhem,
destroy properties,
paint the protest
kill people.
negatively. If there are people like that, they should be arrested. I think it's a good one if the security agencies can do that. Thank you very much, Michael. That's insightful. Thank you very much, Sadatu. That's wonderful. And of course, you viewers out there, it's so good that you are there and you are part of this conversation. You can always drop your comments at the comment section. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel, Oweleketv, and you can also log on to www.oweleketv so that you can stay updated with latest information, education, and entertainment on a daily basis. This is going to be the size of the big story on Outnumbered this morning. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and I want to say have a wonderful weekend and keep it peaceful.